a webinar in our college, that is S.S.T. College of Arts and Commerce, on a loan and digital economy. Now, this webinar is conducted by Paresh Kapasi, sir. He is a CA, and I congratulate sir also, a chartered accountant. He is a chartered accountant, so today is a chartered accountant day. This webinars we usually conduct, it is an inspiration given by our founder principal, Dr. J.C. Purswani, sir, IQAC coordinator, Dr. Khushbu Purswani, ma'am, and other staff, which encourages us to conduct this sort of webinars, which gives a current affairs or current knowledge to our students. Now, let's introduce our guest for the day, CA Paresh Kapasi, sir. He completed Chartered Accountancy course in 2002. He was a rank holder in All India level in CA Foundation course. Being with a die-hard entrepreneur, sir has never prepared his resume. His mindset is to do his own business. That is what nowadays a current economy demands, that people with having the skills or want enthusiastic to start their business should become an entrepreneur. So sir is one of them who thought for the development of the economy by starting their own practicing chartered accountant. Currently, sir is having more than 500 clients with them. He is an avid learners and readers, and he believes in India First policy. Sir has written so many texts Ramayana on income tax for Gujarati midday for more than 2.5 years. His more than contribution, then 100 articles are published in Gujarati midday. The sir is having the industrial experts, and their clients are individual clients as well as the business clients with him. Now, current on this day, GST day, no doubt this is the trend, or we can say changes, the major economic changes, that the service tax was replaced into a one tax, one nation, that is GST. The planning was started in the year 2001. So from 2001 till that period, 2017, the great planning was done by so many experts to introduce the major changes in the system. So the GST, that is, was introduced on 1st July 2017. Now this webinar will give the highlight on the digital economy and a loan in Indian economy. I request our resource person, CA Paresh Kapasi, sir, to start with the session. Over to you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, Miss Varsha, for your nice introduction. And it's always a pleasure to meet and have a webinar talk with the students, because students are the future of the economy. And as we are ushering our economy into the Amrit Kal, that Mr. Prime Minister says that now 25 years are the Amrit Kal for the economy. So to usher the students and make them aware of what is lying ahead for India, which has become the third largest economy, which is bound to become third largest economy. Right now, we are the fifth largest economy, and we are standing tall with US, China, Japan, and Germany. So in this scenario, today is the 1st July. 1st July is now famous for the starting of the GST. It started from 1st July 2017, and right now we are clocking a GST revenue of about 1,50,000 crore on an average per month. So the GST collection by the center and state is crossing on an average 1,50,000 crore rupees, which is a huge amount. And India, with a population of 130 crore people, is a huge economy, and this economy, how this economy became so big. So when Maithili ma'am asked me that on the auspicious GST starting day, a CA day, what should be the subject that we should take to throw some light on the subject matter, I immediately told her that, why India is growing fast is because of these digital economy and the loan economy. So if you permit, with Varsha ma'am's inputs, if you permit, then we should speak about these, because these generation, which is right now in the college, which are your college students, are going to enter into the economy with lots of expectations and with lots of promises. And if they understand the concept behind this economy, behind this digital economy and the loan economy, then they will be much more better equipped to take the advantage of the opportunity that India represents today. And with this, I am starting my this presentation. This presentation is India at 100. So whether India will become a 26 trillion economy, it is about that. It has roughly 112 pages. So for every page, we have got about 2 minutes. For every two pages, we have got 1 minute. And so I'll quickly brush through these, and let's see that if my viewers, the young promising students who are joining, and many of them, of course, may be giving exams for CA, and I wish them lots of wishes and best luck for their CA results, which are bound to come in the month of July. And the knowledge that is gaining in their head, that I am looking forward to, and looking forward to interacting with them. Okay. Now, India at 100, realizing the potential of US dollar 26 trillion economy. Okay. And this is Chandrasekhar, the Tata Sons chairman's forward, which is saying that India's progress over the past decade has been quite remarkable. The economy's position has gone from the 10th largest 10 years ago to the 5th largest. So we are 5th largest economy. India has been the fastest growing major economy for the 3rd year in a row, a bright spot in the economy facing strong recessionary impulses, multi-decade high inflation, record level of public debt, and the squeezing of real household incomes. Looking over the next few decades, the country presents a major growth opportunity. India at 100 will realize the potential of US dollar 26 trillion economy. Details the path ahead. We have the right demography, right domestic consumption. The following pages explain how India is most likely to overtake Germany and Japan, and will become the 3rd largest economy after China and the US by 2030. At a size of US dollar 26 trillion, our per capita GDP will become $15,000. So that's what Mr. Chandrasekhar is saying, that the India has a potential by 2030 to become the 3rd largest economy, which by all means, it's not a small feat. And for that, all of us have really worked hard. And with these should put some question into the mind of the listeners, that how India as an economy is faring, and whether we can, by increasing the GDP, whether they are becoming more and more powerful, more and more sophisticated, and more risk takers. How many of the students of our SST college are planning to start a business? How many of our SST college students are planning to take a job? In which industry they are going to take a job? What potential opportunities are available to them? What potential support from the banking system, from the finance system is available to them? So that is what my crux was. Second point that he is saying is the massive potential of technology to address many of our most persistent development challenges, both in the private sector and public sectors. So here he says that, the economy of India suffers from problems which are development challenges. So how to address it through the economy? That is where the digital economy comes into play. And there is also a crucial decade for India to shape its own future, even beyond to chart a path for other developing countries in a global context that has been transformed by the pandemic, conflict, and the generation. The big question is, how do we spread the future to everyone? Now, the smallest of the smallest guy should be able to reap the benefit of this growth in the Indian economy. And how will the smallest of the small guy will be able, by having the bank account, by having the internet, and by having to do the transaction through digital medium? जैसे हम लोग पानी पूरी वाले के पास पानी पूरी खाने जाते हैं तो वो दिखाता है कि आप कैसे पेमेंट करेंगे, पेटीएम से करेंगे और विल यू पे इन कैश. So this is the transformation from the cash economy to the Paytm economy, that money that we pay to the Pani Puri wala through the Paytm, it reaches to his bank account. So effectively this digital economy has converted that person into he has brought that person into the banking system. It was a huge challenge to bring the uneducated entrepreneurs of India, who are the street vendors, ferias, and all of them, to bring onto the platform of the banking channels, so that the various benefits which are bestowed upon by the government can reach to them through the banking channels. It is very hard to send them the support system unless they are on the system. So the Aadhaar linking was also one such step, and to great success, the government has been able to get 130 crore people of India. Out of 130 crore, 125 crores are having the Aadhaar card, and their bank accounts are linked with the Aadhaar card. So their identity is regularized, and the kind of help that they need, different classes of people need, we are able to send it to them through the bank account. So that is one more, the very big question which I wanted you all to think, that how do we spread the future to everyone? The basic facility that the big industrialist gets, like having a loan, whether that facility can be availed by any of you college student also. How many of you, I am at this moment, I am pondering, how many of you are having the PAN card? How many of you are who are above 18 years and are filing your tax returns? How many of you are having a demat account? How many of you are regularly looking at the Indian stock market, which yesterday reached to its highest peak, and the Nifty was at 17,900? Are you investing? Are you a young age investor or not? And are you planning your life? Are you planning your next decade? Because if India is going to go from 3 trillion to 10 trillion by 2030 and become third largest economy, then are my SST college students are take advantage of this or not? And are you having 10 or 15 mentors to whom you regularly go and ask that what is the next step forward? For me, see here in this slide, you can see, as per the projections, India's GDP will be US dollar 26 trillion in market exchange rate terms. Now, you all are commerce students. You should know what is market exchange rate terms. And India's per capita income would be US dollar 15,000, which is a huge amount. 15,000 multiplied by 80 rupees is about 13 lakh rupees a year. Every Indian will be earning a 13 lakh rupee a year by 2047-48 as per this prediction. In the medium term, India would remain the fastest growing large economy. So here the person, EY, the firm is accepting that India is a large economy and we are part of that large economy, and India will be the fastest growing. That is one achievement where the government, public private partnership, and the citizens of India are working hard to make it fastest growing. It is always good to know that we are fastest growing large economy. India celebrated its 75th anniversary on independence in 2022. Milestones like these not only give an opportunity to celebrate the achievement of the past, but also an occasion to invite the government of India has set for itself the goal of becoming a developed economy by 2047. So the enthusiasm for India's growth prospect is palpable. Even the slowing growth buffeted by recent headwinds of unprecedentedly high levels of global debt to GDP, inflation, ये सारे problem है कि हमारा global debt was higher to the GDP, that ratio, inflation is a problem, decelerating global population growth and plateauing global trade to GDP. These all problems we are overcoming. The recent accelerated pace of economic reforms of the last few years in the domains of fiscal, digital, physical infrastructure, and social inclusion has positioned India for higher and sustainable growth. So fiscal में पैसा कहाँ से आ रहा है, and banks are sufficiently capitalized to give loans to the people. Digital infrastructure in place, everyone has an access, even the rural poor rural villages are having a digital infrastructure network and the smartphone capability so that they can do the transaction digitally. Physical infrastructure like bridges, dams, or national highways are in full construction. And social inclusion. Social inclusion is including the small, small people who are also getting the benefit of these developments that the India is putting together. India is also becoming an information and technology and service hub. Now the digitalization. I focused on the digitalization. India is having a 1.2 billion population and 837 million of internet users. Combined with government's focus on building digital platforms, have laid foundation for a digital economy, enabled the development of a robust digital payment ecosystem. You know how many transactions are happening through phone pay, through GPay, through uh, all these digital channels are enabling the mobile to mobile transfer of money so easily. Sometimes when my clients, I file returns of my clients, they are also asking me, Paresh bhai, kaun sa GPay pe main payment kar दूं? So they are not even looking at their checkbook. They are not looking at the computers to transfer the money. They are just transferring the money through their mobile phone in a click. And to have this technology is definitely a boom because I got my money within 5 minutes of filing the return. Now, by filing the return, I also remember that this mobile internet interface of digital technology has enabled the Indian government to set up a very robust GST filing tax system, income tax filing tax system, so that number of returns filed are increasing. We were earlier in the earlier days of 2010, we were going carrying the physical returns to the various income tax offices and submitting that manual papers and getting the acknowledgement. Now we are filing online, and on the last filing day, we are filing more than 1.5 crore returns. So all over India, the system is so strong that the work which was a 30-day work is happening now in a day. And the processing of the system is also done. These returns are also processed within 1 month from the filing of returns, which is a marked improvement. That shows that our technological infrastructure is so good and this digital economy in place. Just like in income tax return, GST return, everyday transactions are recorded on the GST network, which is a huge transaction flow. Every sales is recorded. With this e-invoicing system coming in place, now any business entrepreneur who are having a turnover of more than 5 crore rupees is generating the e-invoice from the GST system only. And this GST system is applicable all across India uniformly. When 2017 came, we all were discussing with the minister groups and the GST officials that how this GST system, whether it will be able to take the load of the number of transactions that are going to come on the GST. But fortunately, India is so technologically advanced and the infrastructure is in place. India is able to invest through the money that it is getting into this technological field. So that's why the GST system is working smoothly. Now, digital, coming back to the digital, in US dollar terms, the digital economy grew by 15.6%, which was 2.4 times faster than the growth of the Indian economy. So Indian economy का growth जितना fast है, उससे ज़्यादा भी digital economy का growth faster है. Several service delivery platforms such as COVID vaccination. At the time of COVID, this COVID app was made. Everyone must be aware of it, and we had to register on the COVID app, and they will give us the center where we can take the COVID vaccination. All this was happening through the COVID, through the digital platform, and that helped us to get the COVID vaccination so smoothly, and large part of India was covered. And we were the one who came out of the COVID at earliest. I remember that even till February 23, China had a mass locking system for their citizens because they could not effectively vaccinate and give medicines through their network. That's why China was still struggling and India came out early 2022. Ayushman Bharat system, the Diksha education and teacher training. Miss Varsha, I hope that you and your team of professors at S.S.T college are aware of a scheme called Diksha, which is a education and teacher training. And I hope that your team of professors are taking advantage of it. GSTN, which I spoke about, and this GEM, this GEM, public procurement, it's a very big service. On the GEM, any small and medium enterprise can register and they can fill up on the government tenders. So government is focusing on getting the domestic supply only from the domestic producers and traders. So this GEM is an excellent platform and it is doing thousands of crores of turnover every day. Then Umang is also one such e-government services initiative which is making the digital economy penetration faster, have been implemented successfully, and several other platforms such as Agritech Stack, Dash for skilling, and livestock are being planned. So my friends, I hope that all what I am saying is coming and it is entering into your mind, and all of you are now ready to take the advantage of the digital options available to you and trying to reach a far out world. Imagine that I am sitting in Kandivali and I am giving a lecture to the students at near Ulhasnagar, and that is so really amazing that I can connect to you all through this digital network of Zoom. This is all about the digital technology which I wanted to bring to your notice, and we have to move through the help of this digital public infrastructure and its adoption by all of you. It will provide us a unique competitive advantage of not only reducing the time gap but also formalizing the economy and supporting the financial inclusion of all people and create a new business opportunity. So my friends, I hope that you all are using these digital platforms and taking advantage of it. Now coming to the loan. Now I don't know that how many of you are aware that student education loan for higher courses are available. A student from S.S.T college tomorrow will go abroad to study an MBA or a CFA, or they might take a CA course, or they might work for IIM. They might try to take an admission at IIM. These all courses are little bit expensive. So you don't need to go to your parents to take a loan. You can go to the bank and you can ask for a loan. Education loans are very good loans which can the repayment period only starts after 5 years. Once your college studies are over, your course is over. So like education loan, housing loan is available. There are so many kinds of loan, and even government through the digital infrastructure has started Jan Dhan Yojana, where you can open your parents, your senior citizen parents can open a bank account without having any balance to keep in, and they get an insurance cover, they get a mediclaim through the Jan Dhan account, and the benefits are also flowing in. So filling here, the report says filling the credit gap to fuel growth. India's debt to GDP at 55%. That means, my friends, my all student friends, you must be good at ratios. Here we are talking about India's debt to GDP. So our debt, total India's debt to the GDP is 55%, which is remaining amongst the lowest among the largest economy globally. The Indian economic sector had a high level of NPA earlier, which has been significantly reduced. And there has been a progressive developing or deleveraging of the stressed balance sheet. Despite the pandemic, gross NPA as of September 22 have reached a 7-year low of 5%. NPA level at a low of 5% is a really encouraging. The micro, small, and medium enterprises, which contributes 30% to the GDP, faces a shortfall in supply of credit estimated at $250 to $3 billion. So, my friends, that means that every small and medium enterprise, I am sure that you must be knowing what is a MSME. All the small retailers, small factory manufacturers, small traders, they are all, we all come under those who are having machinery worth less than 10 crore in their company is a micro, small, or medium enterprise, and the turnover less than 100 crores. So you understand that the MSME's highest need, MSME was short of the working capital that they needed. And here the estimate is that US dollar 250 billion is that is the requirement for of the MSME sector alone. If the MSME sector needs $300 billion, then the corporates need maybe about $500 billion over the period of years, and the consumer need will be even more for buying houses, planning their marriages, planning their education everywhere. So this is the credit gap that the Indian government, the finance ministry needs to fill in through the loan economy. So I'm sure that whenever these youth, our students of SST college, they want to buy or upgrade their mobile phone, they are buying an expensive phone. And you see the Times of India first page, Apple says that buy an Apple phone for 4,000 rupee a month EMI. So everything is available on EMI. You can buy a resource on an EMI. You can buy the loan for the education on an EMI. Loan is available to you, but how you are using that loan, for what purpose, makes the whole difference. And also, as a responsible citizen of India, whether you are prudent in paying these loan repayments makes a difference. India's middle class is always known for their values and ethics. They don't take loan unless needed. They always save. They don't spend money also. But that values, whether it has come to your generation Z, is a question that I want to ask. Are you a spenders? Are you an investors? Or are you like your parents savers? If you are spenders, but your spending is in right direction, then bank is great, bank is happy, because out of your 1,000 students that SST must be having, if 100 becomes entrepreneur, they will take the economy forward. And for that finance need, always you should treat the bank as your partner. Bank is your partner on a home loan. they provide up to 85% of the value of the home loan. On your turnover base, they provide 20% of finance without security. Suppose you estimate to make a turnover of a crore rupee by selling any product, then bank is willing to give you 20 lakhs rupees without any security. That is the availability of finance that the government, our prime minister, their think tank, and the private banks has done for you. So you go out and you take that advantage of it and you plan. See, all these talks that I am giving to you on this CA day, on this GST day about the digital economy and the loan economy is not going to work unless you step out of your home and think and discuss with your good friends, your professors, teachers, that how should I take the first step. So I believe that you all will have a PAN card, you all will have a return filing system in place, and you all will have a business plan, and you will go to the bank. You all will have a plan that suppose I get a 5 lakh rupee from a bank, then how am I going to use it to my betterment, and whether I will get a good return on investment. That is my suggestion. You all are commerce student and you have been having the account subject, math subject, corporate law subject, economic subject since FIJC. And now probably you are just going to step out of the education system and plunging into the real world. So make your dreams come true. When you will grow, then the Indian economy will also grow. That's what the feeling the credit gap to is all about. While there has been a slow but steady progress of the corporate bond market to 16% of GDP, the ratio is significantly lower. जैसे China is having a debt to GDP ratio of 182%. US is having a debt to GDP ratio at 140%. It will come in the charts ahead. This is very interesting. And my presentation I am going to share with all of you and even for the college, and it will really help you all of you to think big and take advantage of the potential of a billion plus nation. Here realizing the potential of a billion plus nation with a population of over a billion people, a nation has the potential to make a truly transformative impact at the world stage. अभी हम लोगों को ये सोचना है कि हम लोग वर्ल्ड स्टेज पे कैसे हमारा इम्पैक्ट रखे. If you all are reading the newspaper, I was reading that there is a chess tournament like a Premier League is going on and they are fiercely fighting to win the chess championship. Vishwanath Anand was leading one team and Magnus Carlsen was leading the second team. And in Carlsen's team, there are 3 chess grandmasters from India. So we are merging with the world very fast, very effectively, and you all students also be ready to take to meet new people, new opportunities, and you study this PDF presentation, which is 112 pages. If you read and make part of these as a thought process, then it will really help you. Your next 10 years, you will be crorpatis, and I believe all of you will be, because that is the potential of our billion plus nation. Now there is a urbanization and power sector, which I don't want to delve in. Then there is a concept of energy independence. के energy तो लगेगा क्योंकि India is so many people, so that generation of the energy is always, without the electricity, the internet can't run and everything will stop. So that will take sometimes in the next our discussion. Now education and healthcare, you all are studying, so let's go through what we are saying here. Considering India's accelerating working age population ratio, it is imperative to ensure that the workforce is educated. You all are educated, you are all going to become graduate from a premier institute. You are also skilled. Your skill set should be really good. You are able to use all the Word, Excel, PowerPoint, and making reports and making informed decisions. making them suitable for emerging employment opportunity within and outside the country. Few of you will also go outside abroad to take job. For that, your skill set should be good and your confidence should be high. India's combined government expenditure on education is at 3.1% of GDP. So 3 trillion ke samne we are almost spending $900 million for the education and 1.4% at of health. So health के लिए भी बहुत खर्चा हो रहा है. So it will add value and it will be adding to our life expectancy with a good health. Macroeconomic stability. Incidences of the last few years, such as pandemic, recent geopolitical unrest, affects the stability of a nation. If we look at our neighbor Pakistan, for example, before COVID, their Pakistani rupee to the dollar was about 120 rupees, and now today Pakistani rupee has gone down to 300 Pakistani rupee a dollar. So that shows that in the last 3 years during the pandemic times, the Pakistani government was not able to handle their economic affairs well. That's why there is a widespread inflation there. Their economy is collapsing. No one is willing to give them loan. Whereas India, through their good population, their educated youth, has been able to maintain the tempo. We have taken loan, we have repaid that also, and India is emerging as the fastest growing large economy. For that, this macroeconomic stability is required, and macroeconomic stability, our government has done a commendable job. We must give credit to them. And while the government of India has been strategic in its micro fiscal response during the pandemic and the geopolitical conflict, continued with prudent macroeconomic management focused on managing and stabilizing exchange rate. See friends, I was talking about the exchange rate. When the pandemic started, our exchange rate was around 66. Now today our exchange rate is around 82. So that is a good commanding exchange rate management by the government. And for that, the Reserve Bank and the Finance Ministry needs ecolots, ensuring predictability in policies, proactively de-risking the economy. Whenever a problem comes, first we have to build a protective boundary and de-risk the economy. That also they are doing. As part of the prudent macroeconomic management, the center and the state government need to ensure that their revenue and fiscal deficits relative to GDP are within sustainable limits. That they have done, they have kept their fiscal deficit and revenue within the sustainable limit. In case both the central and state government maintain a revenue account balance, the combined sustainable level of fiscal deficit of 6% to GDP supplemented by non-debt capital receipt averaging about 0.5% of GDP would enable the government to finance its capital expenditure. अगर हम लोगों ने हमारा कैपिटल एक्सपेंडिचर बढ़ाना है, इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर को ग्रो करना है, तो वी हैव टू कीप द फिस्कल डेफिसिट इन कंट्रोल. So these are my points. Now let's see these projections charts. You all have to learn to study the chart. Here we are saying that India's Amrit Kal, we are going to cross critical thresholds, projected size of Indian economy. So in the lower bottom scale, we can see the years in which we are going to cross the milestones that is there. So in financial year 28, our economy size will be $5.4 trillion, which is, we were earlier in 2020, we were hovering around 1.7 trillion. So it will be almost 3 times the size in financial 28. So year on day, how we are increasing our production, how we are increasing our output, how we are increasing our consumption, how we are earning, and how we are bringing the foreign convertible exchange from abroad, that will add, all this will add and make this economy at $5.4 trillion in financial year 28. By financial year 36 2036, we will be a $10 trillion economy. And by financial year 45, we will be 20 trillion economy, which is right now the China at current level. And by financial year 48 will be 25 trillion economy. So there is no stopping to our growth and our individual growth as well as the growth of the country. And we will be considered in this Amrit Kal, in these 25 years, from 2023 to financial year 2048, these 25 years, we will be a developed economy, which is by no mean feat. It is a great achievement. And you all students who are in your 20s, when you will be reaching your peak at 45 or 50 years, India will be a developed economy and all the good benefits of a developed economy will be available to you. Then the second, from developing to developed profile as per India's per capita GDP. So in financial year 32, our per capita GDP will be $4,819. In financial year 2037, our GDP will touch almost to 7,000 US dollars. In financial year 41, it will touch to US dollars 10,000. 10,000 multiplied by 82 is about 8 lakh rupees. Every individual will be earning about 8 lakh rupee a year by financial year 41. And then it will subsequently increase to $13,404 and $15,000, which is remarkable. I have been given 1 hour and right now I can see that 45 minutes have passed and I have barely come to about 26th page. So I think that probably I want to say more. Now here also this chart is also important. As a commerce student, you will come in know of so many charts and it is always a learning curve for us to understand. Nominal saving rate as percentage to GDP is India's GDP rate saving in S1 is 30%, then S2 is 31%, and nominal investable resources are 35%. So every 100 rupee that an Indian person makes, he is investing about 35 rupees. And the technology factor is 2.9. This is an interesting chart. I am going to share this PDF with all of you. You can study and you can discuss among you friends and with your economics professor and accounts professor. Now Germany, when the Germany peaked during the period from 1951 to 1969. Japan peaked from the period from 1956 to 1976. That was the period when their economy peaked. USA peaked during 1935 to 1945 level, then again during 1960 to 1965 levels, and then it is going steady. China really had a mass economic upbringing during the period from 1985 to 2009. In this period, Chinese economy skyrocketed and they made this difference between their 18 trillion economy and our 3 trillion economy. So our time is now. Now in this Amrit Kal period, we have to show this economic growth and make our economy and our personal life more strong, better, and with all the facilities. Now these are the 8 growth drivers of Amrit Kal. Where India reaches in 2047 would depend on its current strengths and momentum, future strategy and its execution. So friends, in life, wherever we want to reach, we always have to think about what is our current strength, what is the momentum with which we are making our operations count, what is our future strategy, and how we are executing. So, dear friends, I wish that all of you decide your own personal strength, understand your own current strength, what is the momentum available to you, what kind of a business you can do, or what kind of a job you can take. You make a strategy and then definitely execute. If you sit at home doing nothing, then nothing will happen. And if you are not having any bright idea, you can connect to this Dr. Varsha ma'am or Maithili ma'am or economics teacher. Try to have few mentors and try to have discussion. You can come to me also if you have any questions, queries. We believe that India's current strength, such as high services export, India is really exporting services on a high level. They are having good services. They are a good service provider to the world. If similarly we also improve upon our manufacturing capacity, then we can take place of China and we can become the alternate to China. So that is one thing that we have to learn. Similarly, a growing digital ecosystem. This 1st July of 2023 was devoted to the digital ecosystem as well as the loan in this webinar. So you all are by now aware of the digital ecosystem. Availability of a large working age population. So many colleges, so many young population getting educated, and now they are ready to work on computers day and night and make the project successful. So I am looking forward to that. Track record of creating renewable energy capacity, because electricity will be needed in a big way. Coal electricity will have to be replaced by a renewable or atomic energy. Low private debt to GDP ratio, or debt to GDP ratio should be always under control, and defining reforms agenda and mega trends such as a growing entrepreneurship and startup. Now, for startup, ma'am, Varsha ma'am, we can for startup we can have another one discussion, because we see that this video conferencing has taken place more than a classroom education through Zoom. So Zoom has been a for education. Zoom has been a boon. Similarly, Ola and Uber, they have taken place of our traditional taxis, and taxi walas are now finding for taxi walas it has become tough. And the new delivery model through Ola, Uber, and you are booking the Ola from your home or your office, and the Ola comes to your doorstep. Earlier, we used to get down from our building and search for taxi. Now, taxi wala is searching through this app. So many changes are happening in this fast market, that this digital economy is making it possible. It not only saves the time, but it also enhances the productivity. So that is this digital and the loan system is making things going on. Okay, now this mega trends, Ola, Uber, then travel app. Recently, I went to the whole Karnataka for travels, and I didn't book any hotel. Booked all the hotel through a booking app. So the guy who was having a hotel in Wayanad, he doesn't know me, but I went on the app, I found him, and I booked it. I made an online payment, and I was there. So that systems are totally changing, and these companies are a big hit. Similarly, if you nowadays travel by car and pass our check post, check nakas, then you see that there is a fast tag system which saves your time, because there is no human interface. The computer sensors detect your fast tag and deduct the money automatically. This could not have been possible without digital. So the fast tag system nowadays, there is no line at the checkpost. That is what is the change that India is witnessing. This metro train network all across the Mumbai is also contributing to that. This all is a result of the date, using the date in a proper manner and completing the project in time. I remember that it took about 18 years for the Andheri Kurla metro to start. That was built by Reliance Anil Ambani Group. And the next metro, which is coming on the western suburb, happened in 5 years. So it is a saving of 13 years, and those population which is taking advantage nowadays, children who are taking admission in NM or Mithibai College, they are going through metro from Kandivali to Parla. So that benefit that everyone is getting. We Indians are getting availing new facilities which is developed by the government, and it is except for government's thoughtfulness and that execution driven agenda कि हमें ये करना ही है, हमें ये टारगेट ये प्रोजेक्ट अगर हमने उठाया तो हमें ये करना ही है, that determination should be there in your heart. You can have all the thoughts, but if you are not executing your thoughts, then the success will not come. And we don't want to remain poor or struggling. We want to grow, we want to explore the world, and we want to know ourselves as a developed nation and educated youth. Even predominantly we are a agriculture economy, so the economy also needs, the agriculture also needs to be reformed and renovated. And I wish that you conduct a physical seminar at SST college whereby they can, your students can give lot of ideas that how we can with the help of the technology we can improve upon the agriculture also. Right now it is 10:53 in my clock, so should I go on, or ma'am, we will we will close this conversation right now?
The important points you may continue for
Dear
5
Varsha
minutes.
ma'am,
Yes, sir. The
are you
important
listening?
points. Yes, sir. The important points you may continue for further 5 to 10 minutes, like the charts, etc. Sir has given us important points on Amrit Kal. Further, sir will continue with the important key charts. Now, Amrit Kal is going on, like sir has concentrated on the strengths. That is, we are into a good high service exports. Digital ecosystem is good in the economy. Working age population is there. Renewable energies, that is EV vehicles and certain other. Low private debt to GDPs are there. Startups ecosystems, then funding on infrastructure development. These are the current examples which sir has given. And also if we compare our economic indicators, like our $1 equals to is 82.10 around. If we compare with the other nations, our government, we obviously give the credit to our government that the macro indicators are working well. We are not suffering so much of losses as the other neighbor countries are suffering. Sir has also discussed about the different yojnas, that is Jan Dhan Yojana, Diksha Yojana. Educational loan, sir has put a light on it, that initial 3 to 5 years we need not to pay interest and we can continue with the further education for doing the management schools, etc. And also, sir has put a throw light on that we should must focus on the entrepreneurship, which is a must important, which plays an important role as we know MSME, micro, small and medium enterprises, to which the act was introduced in 2006. So micro, small and medium enterprises like you young Indians can start up your own business, make a business plan, share with your mentors and implement those, because ideas or strategies which we have, they are not just meant for planning, they are meant for execution. So whatever we have planned, we must execute in the coming years so that we can be a part of not only the corporate world, but also the MSMEs or corporate, big corporates in a near future. As sir has also given a figures related to by 2030, what will be the GDP 2040, 2045. Now, these are the very growing years for our country, the growing and inspiration years. By 2047 or 2050, we will be called it as a developed nation rather than from so many years, we are calling our nation as a developing nation. Soon, next or coming 20 to 30 years, we will call it as a developed economy. So this webinar is on the loan as well as the digital economy. There is a great impact these two terms has a very great impact for the development of the economy. Because of some technical issues, sir will join in a few minutes. And sir has also focused that of those who are the students who are above 18 years, having the PAN card, they even the students should, like sir has explained, are you a spender or a saver or an investor, like the middle age income group, the middle income group, they are much focuses on the savers and the investors. The rather than doing the expenditure, no doubt nowadays all the consumer durable items are available on EMI, which is easy for the middle age group also, middle income group also to buy such products. But rather than going things which are not in that much of need, rather than spending on those things, we must save, we must invest for our future prospects, for our future growth. So that is what the young population, the middle income group are expected to do, and they are contributing to the growth of the economy. Out of the total population, the middle age population, the growing population is much more. So we are blessed, we have earning population in our country. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Sorry for the disruption.
No issues. I have briefed about what you have explained, like Amrit Kal and beyond the strength, 7 points you have explained. So the key indicators you can conclude with it. The session, entire session, like what all things. Now, students has asked many questions in the chat, like which yojanas are good for them so that they can start their own entrepreneurship. Which are the government gives the benefit to start the entrepreneurship.
Okay.
And which are the yojanas which are helpful for their career development, maybe in entrepreneurship, maybe in their other working life. So they want to focus on that mainly.
So basically, you should start with your checklist. First, you should prepare the checklist that what is the next step that you have to do. Apart from your commerce graduation, you have to do the BSc and NSc traders course. They are the small courses. And every Wednesday at the Bombay Stock Exchange building, they take an exam. And the passing ratio is almost 90-95%. So you should take the knowledge of the Indian stock market and the products thereof, and you should get a certification there. Whatever fees is there, you should go approach your bank and take a loan to make the payment. From now onwards, for the next 10 years, what all small courses like MBA or any other courses that you are doing, you should take an education loan. Don't take money from your parents. Okay, that is my first advice. Similarly, you should have a demat account and you should start learning the balance sheet of the various big A group companies, and you should start investing your saving. Suppose you take a small job and you are able to save 10,000 rupee a month, you should start investing into the stock directly of the companies like Larsen and Tabro, MRF, Dabur, Gujarat Ambuja. These all are good companies. So as a commerce student, you must know how to read a good balance sheet, how to learn that what are the plans these companies are making and how they are going to achieve the profit. You should always try to work for the best management. You should try to understand that where am I having the opportunity to work with, like foreign banks, private banks, even our nationalized banks. This is one area where you should go and give interviews. I hope that you all have prepared your CV or you have prepared your business plan. Ma'am, I will be really happy if any of the students connects to me and ask to make a business plan. and I will also connect them to good bankers. Bankers are partner in our growth.
Okay, sure, sir. In the near future, we will connect you with the students.
Hello.
And
With these,
I must inform you, sir, every year our students do visit Bombay Stock Exchange, National Stock Exchange, not
wow, very good.
only that, even SEBI. So they are
Good.
taking the courses in NISM also. So they are
Oh,
doing the distance courses for 3 months, 6 months. They have even many students has completed NISM certification courses. And even the students are participating in the entrepreneurship programs. Like currently,
okay.
previous our webinar was on, is India ready for the EV vehicles?
Oh,
So we have
wonderful.
taken the group discussion with the students. So such type
So
of
I have a very good client who is working in the EV segment,
okay,
and the company's name is Eco Green, and they have sold EV vehicles to the tune of about 16 crores. So if you send a group of your students to visit my office and also this Eco Green office, we can combine the two, and we can learn the experience of selling EV vehicles in India from the client. Also, he's also having at Chembur also one showroom.
okay.
So you can send your students anytime. If you have done a seminar on EV, it is really, it would be a good experience for them to go and see that how they are faring and what is the response of the people who are buying these EV vehicles.
Thank you, sir, for giving us so much of opportunities and so much of ideas that how we can connect with our students in the practical scenario, not only the theoretical. Obviously, they are learning these theoretical concepts. Even we have started with the certificate course on accounting application. Right now, you have said the students must learn the A grade companies accounting,
Yes.
balance sheet and financial statements. So they are having the experience of consolidated financial statements from the start till end, like cash flow statement, fund flow statements. So they have that much of, we are trying to have their analytical
So
mind
they should
rather than,
be they should be knowing what is US GAAP, generally accepted accounting procedures, and how to make a balance sheet of a private limited company. So if they want some trial balances, I can send them and they can make a Schedule 6. Our Companies Act has come new Companies Act 2013, which is a really good act with lot of transparencies in accounting. That's why the fraud companies are disappearing slowly from the Indian capital market. So I will make improve in the accounting and having the basic knowledges.
okay. Yeah. So every time we prepare our students, like in a near future, as in 2017, the government has introduced GST. In the near future, maybe the government will introduce IFRS rather than ICAI accounting
Correct.
standards. So that is what
Correct.
everyone should be at a learning stage, because we never know where when the economy will introduce a drastic change in our systems.
Correct.
So thank you,
Correct.
sir, for taking such a wonderful and current topic on loan and digital economy. These two plays a very important role for the growth of the economy. As you said, in the near future, obviously, rather so many years we are saying our country is a developing nation, developing nation. We are tired of saying this thing. Now we want to say our country is a developed nation. That is what we are going towards in that way. Thank you so much, sir. So we are
Thank
winding
you.
up a
Thank you.
session here.
It's always a pleasure. And the first day of the month is very lucky because I had my first lecture on 1st April with SST College and now on 1st July. So
Oh,
I
that's
hope that.
great. So we have
So
completed
now
1 year, academic 1 year also, oh, sorry, calendar half year we have completed, and on the financial year you have started. Now on the second
yeah.
quarter you have given the session. First quarter
Okay.
and second quarter.
So
Yes.
please call me whenever. It's always a pleasure to interact with students.
Same here. So sure, sure. We will call you in the campus also. Thank
Yes,
you.
sure, sure, sure.
Yes,
Looking
students.
forward to it and wishing you all a happy GST, happy CA Day, happy Doctors Day, and wishing a robust studying here and best exam results for all the students of SST College of Arts and Commerce, and really appreciate Varsha ma'am and Maithili ma'am for giving me this opportunity. Thanks.
Thank you so much, sir. The
Thank you.
students, the audience are requested to fill the feedback form of the session also. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.